This is Plant-Based Briefing. A diabetes diagnosis shocked me into changing my diet. The results have been incredible. By Miranda Haes at forksoknives.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, your host. I'm a voiceover artist at plantpoweredvo.com. And I started this podcast in April of 2021 to share all kinds of information about plant-based, compassionate, and sustainable living. Today's article is from forksoknives.com, which was founded following the release of the 2011 documentary Forks Over Knives, which you can watch from their website or on Netflix as well. They also have all kinds of information about plant-based eating, including the latest research, success stories like the one you're going to hear today, recipes, and tools to help people on every stage of their plant-based journeys. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. A diabetes diagnosis shocked me into changing my diet. The results have been incredible. By Miranda Haes at forksoknives.com. From childhood through my 20s, I was thin and could eat whatever I wanted without gaining weight. When I did start to gain weight in my 30s, I thought that was just a normal part of getting older. All in all, I ate a fairly typical Western diet with some type of animal protein at every meal. On an average day, I'd have eggs at breakfast, chicken or a burger at lunch, and steak for dinner. I ate cheese multiple times a day and drank soda or sweet tea regularly. I occasionally ate small amounts of fruit, but I rarely ate vegetables. In 2010, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. Then in 2012, I was diagnosed with fatty liver disease. The diagnoses just kept coming over the next few years: sleep apnea, eczema, and kidney stones. But at my twice-yearly physicals, my doctor always told me the same thing, that I looked fine and had nothing to worry about. He said to just watch what I ate and to keep taking my prescribed medications and all would be well. Well, it wasn't, and I wasn't getting any better. So in July 2019, I decided to see a new doctor. At my preliminary appointment, I had blood work done. During my 50-minute drive home, I received an email that my results were available. I pulled over and opened my email. There was a message attached to the first blood sample result, my A1C. It was at 6.6, the early stages of type 2 diabetes. I was devastated. I never thought this would happen to me. Due to my other conditions, the doctor said that it was imperative that I immediately start taking metformin once a day. I was determined to find other solutions that wouldn't require me to be on medication forever. Studying up on nutrition. My journey toward better health began immediately after my diabetes diagnosis when I adopted a Mediterranean diet. I cut out red meat and focused on eating more whole foods. A couple months later, I came across the documentary What the Health. The film piqued the interest of my inner student. I wanted to know more about food and how it impacts our bodies. Then I watched Forks Over Knives. This solidified it for me. In August 2019, I transitioned to the whole food plant-based way of eating. Cheese was a hard habit to break because it had been such a big part of my diet before, and it was a challenge finding whole food plant-based options when going out to eat with friends or traveling for work. I learned early on that I needed to make sure I packed a small cooler with necessities in case I found myself in a situation where the food options didn't fit my new lifestyle. I ate a lot of whole grains, nuts, seeds, and fruit. I was so surprised that I could eat as much fruit as I wanted and still lose weight. I learned to cook and use spices strategically, opening up a world of food choices that are fulfilling and delicious. Health gains and weight loss. Within 3 months of going plant-based, I'd lost 20 pounds. By June 2020, I'd lost 40 pounds, and my doctor took me off the metformin. Now, a year and a half after making the switch, I have reversed all of the diseases and conditions that I'd been living with, from type 2 diabetes to eczema to sleep apnea. I was able to discontinue all prescription medications over 6 months ago. I've been able to maintain my 45-pound weight loss. My husband has been the most amazing supporter throughout this entire journey, and he's now adopted this way of eating too. Recently, I enrolled in the Plant-Based Nutrition Certification Program through eCornell to gain a deeper understanding of the science behind whole food plant-based nutrition. This has truly become a permanent lifestyle change. My only regret is that it didn't happen sooner. You just listened to A Diabetes Diagnosis Shocked Me into Changing My Diet. The results have been incredible. By Miranda Haes at forksoknives.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, and this is Plant-Based Briefing. please go to forksoverknives.com and check out all the resources they have there, especially the documentary if you haven't seen it yet. It is so inspiring and motivational. I'll put a link to it in the show notes, and I'll also put a link to What the Health, the other documentary mentioned in the post. And please share this episode with anyone who might benefit. Thanks for listening.